Good evening and welcome. Happy Monday. We missed you guys last week, but clearly Facebook was, a little shut down last week. So here we are, and today I'm excited. So we're going to get a little rowdy because we missed last week. We're going to have some, impressions and maybe some funny voices. But anyways, the message is going to hit home. So stay to the end because we are going to tell you how to be miserable. And we have so many massive results in our Be It Now program that is going on. We're so excited about with our clients. So we want to give you more information about how you can join the Be It Now group as well, that course, because we're starting round 2 of it. And if you want a sneak peek at what it's like inside our group, we're giving away a special prize at the end. So that's exciting. So today is the guide to being miserable. How exciting is that? So if you've ever said, if I only had blank, then I would be happy. So if I only had a lot of money, then I would be happy. Maybe that's one of your things. So what happens is in amazingly short while, we become discontented with our new situation. And then we want something else, right? Are you discontented? Are you hitting rock bottom? Huh? Are you stuck in the rat race? Well, that's good, actually, because when you understand it, you can use it properly.
And with that, we're going to start with the tips on being miserable. This is the black and white edition of the Self-Mastery series. The formula that you must implement today. People love to be miserable. They wouldn't trade all the money in the world for their miserable state. And if you guys out there know 10 people, you probably know some of them right now, sitting right in their shit. You probably could even name them right now if you had to. And you don't know them, well, the bad news is it probably you. The fastest route to being miserable is getting wrapped up in yourself and all your problems, real or imaginary. You find yourself trapped on an island of yourself, surrounded every side by yourself, your miserable self. You turn all your thoughts inward on yourself, and when you do so, you naturally cannot spend any time thinking about others. The world, as you know it, turns into a bleak fog. You know it's there because every once in a while, you bump into it. But for the most part, life as you know it is darkened, shitty, and remarkably unpleasant. As your shame comes to the surface and you find a way to a therapist's fainting couch before you fall down on the ground in all your misery. Yes. The type of person who turns inward most likely doesn't have much wisdom to turn themselves on. And therefore that person doesn't have much to turn inward upon. Unfortunately, they start to believe that the world is against them. The world doesn't even know they exist, and therefore, as a result, it ignores them. And because they don't get much attention from this, they have to find another avenue to get that attention. A common avenue is self-defined illnesses. It doesn't take long to find one either. That Dr. Google says is you, as you know yourself. You can find symptoms for any condition or disease. Their newfound illness finally, they have something to make everyone else as miserable as they are. Yes. You tell those closest to you about it, even though they don't want to hear it. You look for sympathy, and at first you get them, right? You get them, and you think you have it made. And you dig deeper to come up with new and interesting problems for them the next time. More and more problems. And oh my God, you detect a change. They don't want to hear your problems anymore. People start to walk away. Friends and family turn their ear. This makes you angry. And like a child, you cry out, nobody cares if you live or die. The bitterness, the misery deepens, the darkness thickens, and the shame and guilt comes to the surface. You sink into your cave of problems and they reinforce why the world is against you. Shouting hate at the world, spewing venom at a passerby, and simply making a little bit of an ass of yourself. And there you go. That is the best and fastest formula for becoming miserable. It all starts too wrapped up in yourself and trying to think that you are somehow important.
Holy shit, Walsh. Thank you so much.
Take it away, Mara. Break this formula down.
So, whoa. I love the black and white Shane. What do you guys think? Type yes in the comments if you love the black and white Shane, okay? I do, so much fun. So, let's break down this formula, shall we? Okay, so one of the biggest contributing factors to being miserable are limiting beliefs, okay? We all have them. And so limiting beliefs are really, really quite simple though, okay? They are a feeling of certainty. We're gonna repeat that again, okay? It's nothing more than a feeling of certainty about what something means that we made up, okay? That's all a belief is. It's a habit of thought. It's an opinion. It's something you've thought consistently enough times to where it feels real. So, what creates a belief? Well, your beliefs come from three things, all right? So the first thing it comes from is conditioning. And what does that even mean? Okay, well, conditioning means that you've been exposed to a threat, a certain thought, or maybe an idea, okay, numerous times. And you've seen other people that you trust. Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a teacher, maybe it's a family member, a friend, but they have that belief or boisterously enforce that opinion upon you, right? And so what happens is you start to adopt it as your own. Well, they believe that, I believe that. So the next one is trauma. So another thing that can create a belief is trauma. If you have a severe traumatic event, whether it's a sexual assault, whether it's death, physical, mental, emotional abuse, or whatever it is, you name it. A severe event, no matter how big or small, it's traumatic, right? And it does not need to even be physical. It can be emotional as well, or spiritual. But it's something extreme, right? That has shocked your nervous system. So that was the second one. So now the third one is vision and possibility. Okay, so when you are driven by a compelling vision of the future, you start the process of rewiring your beliefs. And most people are driven by the pain of their past. And when you're driven by the pain of your past, then you just reinforce your beliefs over and over and over again. And I'm not saying the past isn't a good thing. The past is beautiful because it teaches you something. But when you live there, it becomes the future. And when you do that, you start to think in terms of possibility. So what we want to do is be compelled by an amazing future, right? We want to have an amazing vision. So when you have an amazing vision of the future, then guess what happens? Well, then you start to think differently. You start to think in terms of ability. Your energy increases. When your energy increases, your creativity increases. And when your creativity increases, you have more mental clarity. When you have more mental clarity, you start to see the how in all this stuff, right? And then you start to believe it's possible. So the vision comes first.